Lois Savaryantam, Namo Lois Savaridanam, Namo Lois Savayriyan, Namo Lois Savjayanam, Namo Lois Savatrivavati Savanam, Omkaramindu Sanyupanjam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Che Omkarai Namo Namo, Manganam Bhagavanayo, Manganam Uttamam, Mangalam Kunkundari, Ujendram Vosumangalam Namasana Vispada. Swanubhutya Jathasti Swadhay Bhävarth Bhävarth Nirusandata.
Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Arantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Vajjanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Esu Panchanamukaro Sarva Pava Panasam Manglalancha Sarvasing Padamam Hoya Manglam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Nama Nama Samaysaraya Svanu Bhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksuramiritam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranad Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo E Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho upakara jinavarano kundano dhvani divyano jina kunda dhvani yapya aho te guru kanano aho te bhagavati matano Dhruva achalane anupama gati pamel sarve siddhane vandi kaho sutta kevali bhasita asamaya prabhrata hare om eka suddha sada arupi jnana darshanamaya khare kai anyate maru jari paramanu matra nathi hare Yamanetra tema jnana nadhikarak nathi vedak are jnane jakara modaya nirajara bandhate majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha Share screen. Okay. So today is January 20, 2016, and this is the first meeting of this year that we have it. Last 3 or 4 weeks, naturally, we took vacation and travel and etc. whatever. So here we are. We are on the 6th stanza of Samaysar, and we are on the Bhävarth, means further explanation part of the stanza 6. So as it's a beginning of the year, I think it will be a good idea to read the stanza first. Ravihodi appamatto rapamatto jana godujo bhavo evam bhananti suddham jano jo soduso cheva Nati apramat ke pramat nati je ek gnayak bhav je erit suddha kathayane je gnate to tejache. As several times we have said in the past, this is 6th stanza is kind of a heart of the Samaysar. Kun Swami, first 5 stanza are kind of warm up, kind of 5 stanzas were there. And now he comes to the real subject that what Samaysar is about. And now he tells that what is going to be the subject matter on this whole 415 stanza. Up to 14 stanza, up to 15 stanza, 12, 13, 14, 15, up to 16 stanza. So now we are on 6th, and we reach up to 16. When we reach there, that will be basically end of Samaysar practically. But then whatever happens is a further explanation and expansion of whatever we have learned from stanza 6 to 16. So that's why we are going at very snail pace on this stanza, because we would like to have real grasp of the subject. We have repeated several things again and again just to have proper understanding of this stanza. If we have absolute great understanding of this stanza, then rest of the thing becomes a little bit easier to understand as the time flows. So in this one, we talked this one a little bit last time when we met, but we'll just recapitulate, and from there we'll just go up. Word dharma comes. Word dharma has a very different meanings as it has been applied in different perspective. So we should be aware of it, that from what perspective they are using this word. If I don't understand, if I don't know the perspective, then sometimes I get confused. So dharma will be word used in terms of righteousness, means I'm a dharmi person, I'm religious person. So righteousness or religiousness is called dharma also. Then component element of the soul. Soul is made up of a substance, attribute, modes, and all those component element of the soul are also called dharma. And then third one comes retention ability. That is also called dharma. And we will just go through those next few slides to just discuss, to differentiate all these three things as they are applying. As we said, that the words are very limited, but what that word's intended meaning one has to understand. For example, we also have word bhav coming. Bhav word is it's a Gujarati word, it's a Sanskrit word. This bhav, the word itself means inclination, for example, but that bhav can be used in terms of a soul as a substance. It can also be used as an attribute, as a part of the soul substance. And it can also be used for mode. So this kind of things are there in which same word but different meanings are there. So one has to be really alert enough to know that where is this word, under what context this word is getting used. And once we have pretty good understanding that way, then there is less chance of getting confused as we read the scripture further. So let's see. Let me put these guys off right now. Okay. Okay, so Atmana Dharma means component element of the soul in auspicious and inauspicious inclination state. So when the soul is in inauspicious and auspicious inclination state, then what are the component elements of the soul? So that's one way we use the word dharma. So let's see what it says over here. So from substance perspective, remember, now we are talking about auspicious, inauspicious inclination state of the soul. That means the soul is not in its innate form. If the soul is in the innate form, then auspicious, inauspicious inclination will not be present. But when soul is in a deluded state, soul is out of its innate state, then it could either be in an auspicious state or inauspicious state. And that's what we are talking about, that when there is auspicious and inauspicious state present, then what are the component element of the soul? So what it says, from substance perspective, now we just look at the whole soul as a substance perspective, and substance perspective, the soul is a pure, and its modes are considered secondary in nature. So pure souls, from substance perspective, we are talking soul, we are talking absolute nature of the soul. And when you're talking absolute nature of the soul, then everything else like attributes and modes and everything becomes secondary in nature. So substance is pure and modes are considered secondary in nature. But when we are looking at a modal perspective, the first one was a substantial perspective, from substance perspective, from dravya drashti perspective. Now we are talking modal perspective. And the modal perspective is also called paryay drashti. So what happens in a paryay drashti? Mode itself can be pure or impure. For example, if I'm in the innate state right now, then I'll have a pure mode. If I'm in the deluded state, then my mode will be impure in nature. This pure or impure nature of the mode has its own independent existence, means substance cannot force mode to be pure or mode to be impure in nature. For example, we live in United States of America, and as a result of it, there is a president of the country, and he's the head of the whole organization. Now, under his rules and regulation, we are living. As long as generally we follow the rules and regulation, like moral conduct and paying taxes, and those where if I remain that way, then I have my own independence. I can earn as much as I want, or I can spend as much as I want, or I can save as much as I want. I have my independence. I can eat anything that I would like to eat. Government cannot come and force me that I have to eat only certain food. I have my own independence. As long as I remain and observe the rules and regulation of the country, I have my own independence within that limitation. So similarly here, this mode lives under the influence of the substance. As long as the mode observes all the rules and regulations laid out by the soul substance, then this mode has its own independence. Mode says, I would like to be pure state. Soul says, okay. Mode says, I would like to be in impure state. So soul says, I can't help it. You can do whatever you like. So mode has its independent existence. Soul as a substance has an independent existence, and similarly this mode, soul has an independent existence for since time infinite, eternal. This mode is a transient in nature, one samay in nature only, one samay and it will be gone. And within that one samay also, this mode has its own independence. Not only this mode having independence, but this mode is made up of origination, cessation, and constancy. The three things are there, three components of the modes are there. Utpat, Vyay, Dravya. So This mode also has independent origination. This mode has an independent cessation of its own. For example, let's say that we take 10 paryai, 10 modes right now, 1 to 10. First mode is impure mode. It's a wrong faith mode, mithyatva paryai, mithyatva mode. Second one, same. Third one, same. Fourth one, originated that way, same. Fourth one, ceased to exist, same way, by its own way. Fifth mode, origination, occurred in the form of right faith. This origination of this present fifth mode did not depend on the cessation of the fourth mode. Fourth mode cessation was independent. Fifth mode origination is independent. So that means this is so much independence given over here. If you really want to study this independence of the modes and everything, one should study Pravachan from stanza 93 to 125. It gives Dravya Bandharan, it gives constitution of the soul substance, and all these details are given. Once I understand that independence of my soul substance, independence of my mode, independence of my origination, independence of my cessation, this is really amazing independence at its climax. There is nowhere dependency on anything else. This mode says, I'm originating and I'm going to look outside, and when I'm going to look at the alien objects, I'm going to become an impure mode. It's my problem. Or I don't want to draw my attention to the alien objects. I'm going to bring my attention to my eternal soul substance, and then I have purity in my mode. That's my own doing. So these modes are also independently existing, and they have their own 6 causes. When we go further, it will come. Karta, karma, karan, sampradana, padan, adhikaran. Those are 6 causes will be coming, and these 6 causes are the reason of origination of a particular mode, whether it's a pure or whether it could be impure. So all those things just tells us that there's tremendous amount of independence, or to this absolute to the core of these things, that independent will not be missed anywhere at all. So from modal perspective, this mode either it could be pure or impure. It's because of its own independent existence. Now, from dialectic relativism, Syadvad Apeksha, purity of eternal soul substance and impurity of the mode, both are component element of the soul substance. So they are the component element of the soul substance. Now this new word we are throwing, dialectic relativism. What is that word? It is made up of 2 words, syad and vad. Syad means from certain perspective. Vad means to speak. Syad, certain perspective. Vad is to speak. So, I am father. From what perspective? From my son's perspective. I am son. What perspective? From my father's perspective. I'm a husband. What perspective? My wife's perspective. So, the substance is the same, but it can be described multiple ways. Same person can be called father, can be called son, can be called husband, can be called uncle, can be called nephew, can be called doctor, can be called man, can be called Indian, whatever you do. You're speaking from certain aspect is to be considered. Syadvad is a speaking perspective, and Anekant, multiplicity point of view is a real thing present in a given substance. So Syadvad means the way we present by speaking, and Anekantvad means actually happening. Anekant means multiplicity point of view. Now, this multiplicity point of view is really misjudged by lots of people. Even in our own Jain community, lots of people, they don't understand the real meaning of multiplicity point of view, and that's why confusion occurs. In the Samaysar, after 415 stanza, now at the end of it, Amrit Chandracharya gives a different appendix. In that appendix, he explains to us about multiplicity point of view. What is a multiplicity point of view? Multiplicity point of view is a given substance, me, soul, whole soul, a given substance, at a given time, in that substance, two exact opposite things residing. In a given soul substance, when we are talking soul, we can just say soul, we can take any other substance, but our concern is soul. So, in a given soul substance, at a given time, two exact opposite things residing is called multiplicity point of view. The crux over here is a given substance.
Kirit uncle?
Yeah.
So two opposite things.
Yes.
So give an example. So soul, if you have a soul substance, what would be an opposite thing that could be there?
Yeah, we are coming to that. We are coming.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm listening.
No. So what are those two exact opposite things? For example, soul is eternal in nature and soul is transient in nature. Wait a second. How can you have eternity and transiency remaining together? They're exactly opposite to each other. Well, what perspective I'm talking? Remember the word syad over here? This word syad means perspective. What perspective I'm talking about? If I'm talking the soul substance from substance perspective, then it is eternal in nature. Soul was never created. Soul will never die. Soul remains the way it was from before, now, and in the future for time infinite. So from substance perspective, it is eternity in nature. And from modal perspective, soul has a mode, right? That modal perspective, soul is transient in nature. So transiency and permanency both are exactly opposite, but they reside in the same soul substance. One and infinite, they both remain together in the soul substance. How? From the soul substance perspective, it is only one in nature. This soul is one. But when I enter that soul substance, inside the infinite attributes are there. So from attribute perspective, I can be called as many things. Many things present within. So one and many are residing in the same substance. So that is the multiplicity point of view, anekant, and when I'm talking about it, somebody's presenting about it, then it's called syadvad. So it is called dialectic relativism when somebody is speaking. When exactly those things are residing within, then they are called multiplicity point of view. When they are residing within, it's called anekant, and when somebody is speaking, then it's called syadvad. So both are basically same. One is speaking, one is the situation, the way it is inside. So here from dialectic relativism, from Syadvad Apeksha, purity of the soul's eternal soul substance, purity. If pure soul substance is pure, it is never been impure, and impurity of the mode. Both are component element of the soul substance, means dharma. So here we are just hitting the word dharma. What is the meaning of dharma in this sentence? It is a component element of the soul substance. So that's the one thing that we see. Now we can see the next one. Righteousness. Righteousness means I am on the path of auspicious activity to stay away from the inauspicious activity, and while I'm performing auspicious activity, my aim is to reach to the eternal soul substance. I want to bring my attention drawn to the soul substance. So whatever those activities I'm doing, that's called righteousness. So what it says, impurity of the auspiciousness and inauspiciousness occurs due to association with alien objects and are censurable. Means they are hey. I want to have my attention drawn to the eternal soul substance. And when I want to do that, that means my modes have impurity right now. My mode is an impurity in the form of auspiciousness or inauspiciousness. So they are not to be considered important. They are to be removed. Remember, inauspiciousness I can understand. Inauspiciousness, yes, remove it out from me. But auspiciousness? I mean, I'm going to temple, I'm worshipping, I'm doing puja, I'm doing charity, I'm doing austerity, I'm doing penance. All those things are auspicious activity. And they are also because of association with the alien object, and that's why they are censurable. They are called hey. They are considered to be removed from me because they will become obstacle for my further progress. You mean auspiciousness will become obstacle to me? Yes. Gurudev Kanji Swami said, yes. Auspiciousness will be also hindrance to you. You mean I should never perform auspiciousness? What he said, you perform auspiciousness, but this auspiciousness is a righteousness for me. It's a dharma for me. When I believe that way, my belief needs to be removed. Remember, right now I don't have experience of the soul substance. So what can I do possibly? I can do two things. Inauspicious activity or auspicious activity. Who can say that go and perform inauspicious activity? No philosophy of the world will say that go out and do the inauspicious work. So that is out. So remains is auspiciousness. Now I'm over here, you are saying that it is censurable. What Acharya Bhagwan says, what Gurudev says over here, that yes, you perform your auspiciousness, but don't take ownership of it. For example, okay, Preeti went for yatra, summit Sikhar. And she said, oh my God, I went to yatra and everything, and I became so holy and everything. No, you went for it. It's okay. Nothing to worry about it. You did good, but don't take credit for it. It did happen to you. So auspiciousness also you do perform, inauspiciousness you perform, but don't take ownership of those things. there is something called 99 yatra in a Jain philosophy, that if you just go 99 times to the Shatrunjay mountain, then somebody believes that he or she will go to moksha. Going to Shatrunjay mountain 99 times in 2 months or 3 months time or whatever time, that's okay. You can do it. But I did good, and the person who has not done 99 yatra, he is less than me. That belief needs to be taken out. So auspicious, inauspiciousness both occurs due to association with the alien objects, and they are censurable. So that we have to understand over here. Then it says, because one need to respect the eternal true nature of the self, upade. I have to respect. It is a wholesome for me. One is censurable, and my eternal soul substance is a upade. It's a wholesome for me. It is to be respected for me. And ultimately my aim is to just look within. And that's what I have to do. My aim is to go and experience my innate state of soul substance. That's it. For that, I may have to do auspicious activity to stay away from inauspicious activity. Nobody says don't do that, but don't take credit for that. For example, first thing in the morning, I wake up, I'm perfectly healthy person, I don't have any disease or anything right now, and I woke up. And I told my wife, I had a very good sleep, good night sleep. Tomorrow, I had a good night's sleep. Third day, good night's sleep. 4 days, she says, so what a big deal. You're a healthy person and you sleep and you have good night sleep. So why you keep on singing the praise for the good night sleep? Are you having some loose screw in the brain or what? If you are a healthy person, you are going to go to sleep naturally. So don't make a big deal out of it. Yes, if I was coming out of this major surgery, I'm lying down, I'm tossing and turning, and I didn't sleep. Yes, that day I can say I did not sleep well. I did not sleep next day well. I did sleep a little bit better third day. I slept better. I slept good. Now I'm okay. Thereafter, I stopped singing the praise. So here, auspiciousness, if I do, I have to stop singing the praise. I don't have to take ownership of that one. My ownership has to be eternal soul substance. That is my upade. That's a wholesome for me. So with attention focused to the eternal true nature of the soul, one is able to discard the impure inclinations. And impure inclination means this inclination, both auspicious and inauspicious, both are called impure inclination ultimately, that they need to be discarded. And this is known as righteousness. This is called dharma. So here is a different definition of dharma came. In the previous definition, component element was dharma. Here the righteousness is dharma. Let's see. So when right faith gets generated, wrong faith dissipates. And so that's the nature of the dharma over here. And then the third definition comes, retention ability. Retention ability is also called dharma. What is that one? Let's see. Dharma, word used when there is a word used here means vastue dhari rakheli yogyata tene dharma kehvai che. Means retention ability of a thing is known as a dharma. Let's see what it says further. Eternal soul substance has maintained its permanency, and the mode has maintained its impurity or purity, whatever. Both are dharma, means retention ability of a particular entity. Soul substance has maintained its permanency. more. Right now, I'm in the mithyatva. I'm in the first spiritual development stage. I'm the wrong fate state. So I have, my modes are impure. And so my mode keeps on maintaining my impurity as long as I have the mithyatva. So as long as I have mithyatva, then impurity is maintained. That is the dharma of the mode. And soul's nature is to remain permanent. So both are having called retention ability of a particular entity. From the soul's perspective, retention ability is permanency. From modal perspective, in the first gunsthanak, the retention ability is to maintain the impurity. So this is another word, dharma will come. So these are kind of things that we should be clear in our mind. We have to have the differentiation occurs, and so word will be one, but it will be applied in different perspective in different places. So we have to keep in mind. Now we are changing the gear over here and just says sansar, transmigration. What is sansar? What is transmigration? How do we define that? Sansar, sansaranam iti sansar. This is the Sanskrit version. Oh, by the way, I can tell you, when I was in India, I ended up meeting one professor of Sanskrit, and not only he's professor of Sanskrit, but he knows Samaysar by heart. So he knows. So I talked to him, and he said, "Okay, I can teach you Sanskrit, keeping in mind that your primary interest is to know the Samaysar, to read Samaysar." Samaysar, Amrit Chandracharya's commentary comes in Sanskrit. Amrit Chandracharya's Sanskrit is extremely pure in nature. It is so pure that they compare that one to any of the highest theses. Why it's pure? Because Amrit Chandracharya gave commentary on 415 stanza that Acharya Kunkun Swami wrote down, and Kunkun Swami was 2000 years back, and Amrit Chandracharya was 1000 years back. Kunkun Swami wrote down in Ardha Magdi language, and Amrit Chandracharya wrote down in Sanskrit language. And this Sanskrit is so pure, so perfect, that if you read whole paragraph, one paragraph if you read, he will have the Kriyapad. What is Kriyapad? What we call the verb. Yes. The verb will come at the end of one paragraph. Remember, if I'm writing every sentence, I have to have a verb, and one sentence I put a full stop, and that's done. Here, he writes the whole paragraph full of thing, and the verb will come at the end. Means the whole paragraph is one sentence only. That was his extreme ability in Sanskrit. And so this person is supposed to teach me, and so next week, most likely next week onwards, I'm going to have the video conference classes with him. If anybody is interested to join, maybe let me know, and it will be lots of fun. I'm really excited about it. So anyway, so here we are. Sansar means sansaranam iti sansar. Means where there is a birth and death cycle of transmigration, that is known as sansar. So auspicious and inauspicious inclinations are known as sansar, means transmigration. Why? Because when I do inauspicious inclination, then I bind negative karma to me and getting stuck to me. When I'm having auspicious inclination, positive karma comes and gets stuck to me. And once they get stuck to me, then at particular time they come in fruition. Those karma come in fruition, and when they come in fruition, I just join in that karma fruition, and I can start binding karma again. And so this kind of cycle keeps on going again and again and again and again.
Kirit uncle,
Yeah.
the feed that I got froze. Can you just say the last sentence again? Because I didn't get the feed. I lost the data.
Auspiciousness and inauspicious inclinations are known as sansar, transmigration. Why? Because if I did any inauspicious inclination, I did any evil thought about something, then the karma, negative karma, comes and gets bonded to me. If I did positive inclination, I did auspicious inclination, I did worshipping of the God, I went to the temple, I did charity, I did the austerity and everything. I did Varsitap and all the things, for example. And all these things are auspicious inclinations. And as a result, the positive karma come and get stuck to me. This karma, after a certain time, they come in fruition. And when they come in fruition, I get joined with that fruition again. And so this circle keeps on going again and again and again. So that's called transmigration. That's called sansar. There is what we are talking right now, we are talking from Dravyanuyog perspective. We are talking from metaphysical perspective in Samaysar. But there are also Karnanuyog. Karnanuyog means the scriptures dedicated to karma theory alone. And those are the things, as we are passing through, we'll slowly touch those kind of things, and that will help us out. In fact, what I will do, I'll send out these slides on this transmigration things. You study that one. Next time when we meet, then we'll just quickly summarize those things. So, that is called auspicious. Inauspicious inclinations are known as transmigration, because auspicious, inauspicious inclinations are the reason for the present transmigration, and also sow the seed for the future transmigration. Means I'm already binding the karma right now because of my auspicious, inauspicious inclination. But when this karma matures in the future and they come in fruition, I get again attached to them, and that's why I'm sowing the seed for my future transmigration. So this transmigration, present and future, keeps on going and going and going forever. So now instruction for pure point of view is important. Now, all this thing that we saw in a 6 stanza so many times, so many months we are talking about it. So instruction for pure point of view is very, very important. That's what Acharya Bhagwan tells us. What it says over here, to remove the misery of transmigration, to remove the birth and death of a cycle that I have right now, one is given discourses of taking refuge in the pure point of view. The subject of pure point of view is eternal soul substance. So, and to get rid of this misery of transmigration, then I have to take this refuge in pure point of view, and pure point of view's subject is eternal soul substance. Now, subject of pure point of view is eternal soul substance with having supersensuous bliss. And that's a truth, that's an absolute truth, that's a permanent truth, that's an eternal truth. So that's why one has to have instruction given for the pure point of view. From eternal true nature of the self, these auspicious, inauspicious inclinations are impure. Auspicious, inauspicious inclinations are occurring within me all the time right now. But when when we're taking the perspective of the eternal soul substance, then they all are impure for me. Pap is impure and punya is also impure. Wholesome activity also is impure for me, and vicious activity are also impure for me. Both will be impure. I can say, wait a second, I'm doing charity, I'm doing worshipping, I'm doing austerity, and all this thing you are saying it's impure? Yes, because auspiciousness or inauspiciousness both are occurring when I direct my attention to the alien objects of the world. I want to make somebody's life miserable. So I'm looking at that somebody and then I'm planning to make his life miserable. Or I'm looking at my body and says, I got to do this auspicious thing. I got to do upvas today. I want to do the fasting today. All those things are also because I directed attention to my body. So auspicious, inauspicious inclination both are occurring because one is having the attention focus on the alien objects. So that means we are talking pure point of view. So that means is an impure point of view is false, right? Now, the student is asking question to the Acharya Bhagwan that impure point of view is false, right? Then impure point of view is not a true state, number one. Auspicious, inauspicious inclinations are not the true nature, number two. Even though they are present, they are considered as false entity from eternal pure soul's perspective. This is very important sentence that we have to understand. Inauspicious, forget about inauspicious right now, auspicious inclinations. I'm on the way to the temple. I'm doing worshipping. I did yatra. I'm giving charity. I'm giving donation. I'm feeding to the poor and everything. All those things are there. One should do that one. But when we talk from an eternal soul's perspective, then those things are way down below and they are not important. So, shall I not do the charity right now? Shall I not do worshipping? Shall I stop going to temple tomorrow? No, you do those things, but don't take the ownership of that. See, I'm the greatest of the great, and our Phoenix temple is such a great that every day we go to the puja and everything, and in other centers they don't do. So what a big deal. You are doing it so you remain happy about it, and it just gives you pathway to go to your inner state. Don't worry about it. When you're climbing the stairs, there are 14 stairs to climb, for example. I'm on the first step, then I'm into the second, then I went to third, I went to fourth. When I went to the fourth step, then first three became secondary for me. When I'm doing my eternal soul substance faith, means when I'm experiencing my true nature of the soul, then previous activities of auspicious, inauspicious, they become not important to me. They become way secondary to me. Over here it says, their existence is definitely present in the mode. Auspicious, inauspicious inclinations are present in the mode, but they are transient in nature because their existence is for one samay only, and thereafter they will disintegrate. While pure eternal soul substance will not disintegrate, it will remain forever the way it is. So we don't have to worry about that part, Now, when one directs his attention to the eternal soul substance, then this inclination automatically disappears, or automatically they become secondary in nature. There's a room which is having darkness from ages. Pitch darkness is there. And to remove the darkness, I don't pay attention to darkness. How do I remove the darkness? I have to say, let me light with the lighter. Let me put the flame with the lighter. And as soon as the flame comes, whole pitch darkness of millions of years disappear within 1 second, right away. With a fraction of a second disappears. So when I direct my attention to the eternal soul substance, then my auspicious, inauspicious activity, whatever they were present or present right now, they become way secondary for me. So, impure point of view is false. Yes, it is false. From which perspective it is false? From eternal soul substance perspective, it is false. So, we have to understand what perspective we are using. Perspective is a motto for Samaysar. One has to understand from what perspective we are talking. Let's take one example. I have inclination of attachment occurring within me. I have a rag right now within me. Who did the rag? Did this phone did the rag, or did I did the rag on the phone? If this phone is the reason for giving rag, then the same phone should give rag to the third person. I was coming in the plane and a person was sitting next to me. What difference does it make whether I have a phone with me or not? He doesn't have any rag. He doesn't have any inclination of attachment. I have my inclination of attachment because this is mine. This is mine. So, so rag is occurring within me. It's occurring within me. But that is in the mode only. That remains for one moment only. Transient in nature. But from soul's, eternal soul's perspective, this rag has no value. This is my phone. So what? When you're dead, is this going to come with you? No, it's going to be staying here and you'll be gone somewhere else. So, soul's perspective, rag has no value. From modal perspective, rag may have value, but so what? So, impure point of view, is it false? Yes, it is false from substantial perspective. From modal perspective, it's a different story. But we are talking substantial perspective only here right now, right? So, what happens to wrong faith? As there can never be flower blooming in the sky. This is an example given in the literature. Akash, blooming of the flower in the sky. Means there is no land, no support of the land, no water, nothing. It's just simply space. Can the flower bloom? No. So, flower cannot bloom in the sky. One believes that soul's mode, there never was any impurity. There is a wrong belief. Flower can never bloom in the sky, and so the soul's mode can never have impurity. That's a wrong belief. Impurity does occur within me. Impurity occurs in the mode. It's a mode's nature. It's a mode's dharma. That impurity can occur in the mode. Now, other way around. To believe that practicing inclination of attachment, one becomes righteousness, then also it is wrong. Because righteousness means experiencing phase of the soul substance. That's a real righteousness. And when I'm doing inclination of attachment, practicing rag, practice of rag and everything, and while I keep on doing rag and that will lead me to the experience of the soul substance, that's a wrong belief. I keep on doing austerity and I will obtain samyak darshan, that's a wrong belief. Remember, word belief. We are not saying you should not do austerity, but I'm doing austerity and that's why I will end up with the samyak darshan. That's a wrong belief. Everything depends on belief. Acharya Bhagavan doesn't say that you don't do the austerity. It doesn't say that you don't do the worshipping. It doesn't say that you just don't do the charity and everything. You do all the things, but because of that thing, I am a righteous person. That's a wrong belief. That's wrong belief. I should take it out. Now, further it says, to believe that eternal true nature of the soul, there is a presence of impurity. I am the soul substance. I am eternal soul substance, pure eternal soul substance since infinity. When I was in the lowest form of life, I was a pure. When I'm the 5 sense sentient being, I'm pure. When I go to when I go to hell, when I go to heaven, I will still be soul substance will be pure. When I go to moksha, soul substance always is pure. There is no impurity in the soul substance. Impurity could be present in the mode, but not in the soul substance. So that's a wrong faith. 3 ways it's said over here. Dialectic relativism, Syadvad. One needs to take the support of the dialectic relativism. Eternal true nature of the soul does not have impurities that I have to understand. Impurities are in the mode only that I have to understand. One must give up moral perspective and draw his attention to the eternal soul substance. So, what's a dialectic relativism says? It says perspective. I'm the father from the son's perspective. I'm the son from father's perspective. Those perspectives I understand. So I'm the soul substance. I'm the eternal soul substance. I have the impurity and the present within me, which because of modes only. Those are my dialectic relativism. And ultimately from that, I have to take the essence out. And what is the essence? I have to give up my modal perspective and I have to go to the eternal soul substance perspective to get the right faith. One must know the nature of the mode also. Because modes are secondary, because modes could be impure, because modes are transient in nature, because modes means a conventional point of view. So what? It occurs within me. So I have to know about it. I have to know it and say, they are not important to me. If without knowing mode, I cannot put my attention to the soul substance. So I have to know both the things. The 2 sides. One is a modal perspective, one is an eternal perspective, and I have to remain in the balance in both the things. Then and then I can obtain Samyak Darshan, then and then I can obtain right faith, then and then I can get the enlightenment, then and then I can get self-realization, then and then I can go further progress in my spiritual path. So dialectic relativism will be coming on the pathway. Because experience of the eternal true nature only occurs in the mode. Why I have to know the mode? Because in the activity, let's go back over here. Over here we said we have to know the mode. We have to know the mode. Why should I know the mode? Because eternal soul substance and its attributes are inert in nature. Only activity is seen in the mode. Remember, when we are talking in this 6th stanza, before 2 or 3 classes before, we said that the mode of the knowledge is like a mirror. In that mirror, all the alien object gets reflected. Means all the alien object gets illuminated. At the same time, soul substance gets illuminated. And so, both the things are present in this mode, in this knowledge mode. Alien objects are illuminated. My eternal soul substance is illuminated. Where do I want to put my attention to? In this mode. Where do I want to put, what attention do I have to have it? If I take attention to the alien objects of the universe, then I have the modal perspective. When I bring the faith to the eternal soul substance, then I get the right faith. So mode's nature needs to be understood. Exactly what mode is, what's the function of the mode, and those things I have to understand, which we have talked for last 4 months. So now we have a pretty good idea that what is a mode, what's the function of the mode, what's the nature of the mode. Most important, when we say all mode means we always take knowledge mode right now. Knowledge mode has a capacity of self-illumination, capacity of alien illumination, and I want to make alien illumination secondary and self-illumination is primary. And that self-illumination occurring in the mode when I make it primary, that means my attention is focused to the eternal soul substance. And that means it's an enlightenment or right faith, self-realization, whatever word we want to use it. Therefore, determination of the eternity, it is experienced in the transient nature of the mode. This is the crux of the whole thing that we talked so far. The transient mode, which lasts for one samay only. My soul substance get illuminated. And when it gets illuminated, mode puts the attention there instead of an alien object. And that's why in this transiency of the mode, eternal soul substance get experienced. This is the really very complex process, but we got to understand that part. Soul substance is eternal and inert in nature. Infinite attributes are eternal and inert in nature. All the activities occurring in a given soul substance is in the mode only. And that transiency of the mode, where there is an illumination of the soul substance, that I have to catch it in my mode. And that's why the eternity soul substance is experienced in the transiency of the nature of the mode. It's kind of very powerful statement over here, which we understand right now. Then, in experiencing phase, there is no partial point of view. Wait a second, what is this new monkey wrench we are throwing right now? When I'm experiencing the eternal soul substance, then there is no partial point of view of any kind. Partial point of view occurs only in the reflective thought process. Partial point of view means nai occurs only in a reflective thought process. Means vikalpatmak dashama nai hoy chhe. When I have the reflective thought process, then all this nai means partial point of views are there. Let's see how it says. One discards the model perspective and draws attention to the eternal true nature of the soul. That's called dravya drashti. I discarded my model perspective. I drew my attention to the soul substance. So that's a dravya drashti. Then this is known as pure point of view or suddhanai. Then this leads to experiencing of the soul. Remember, what happened here? First, I discarded model perspective and drew my attention to the eternal soul substance. When I did that, this is called pure point of view. When I did that, then this leads to experiencing of the soul, and in this experiencing phase, there are no reflective thoughts. Reflective thoughts are present only in the pure point of view or partial point of view, but not in the experiencing phase of the soul. Then, when experiencing occurs, reflective thoughts are absent, and therefore there is no need for pure point of view. Pure point of view, this point of this dravya drashti, the attention, the model perspective is discarded, and attention is focused on the pure nature of the soul. That is called pure point of view. They are called reflective thoughts, but now when I'm experiencing, reflective thoughts are absent, and that's why there is no presence of, there is absence of a partial point of view. Nai stops once the experiencing occurs, but Nai is extremely important to come to that level. I came to your home. So I left my home in the car, then I went in the plane, I got down in the New Jersey airport, and then I came to your home. When I come to your home, I discarded everything from before. They are not important to me. They become past now. So that's what it's trying to tell us over here. So this one probably will bypass. So essence of six stanza, last slide. I know we are a little bit over probably. Just bear with me for a couple of minutes. Pure point of view means Suddha Nai. The all-knower soul substance is full of consciousness. It's a subject of right faith. I need to have right faith. I need to have self-experiencing. So pure point of view tells me this is what it is. This is the eternal soul substance. You bring your attention over here. So pure point of view drags me to the eternal soul substance. And when I just draw my attention to soul substance, then I experience the consciousness. And at that time, the pure point of view becomes absent from me. Impure point of view. Where are they impure point of view? It's called Asuddhani. Asuddhani, which first to 6 spiritual development stage are known as non-attentive Pramat Dasa. From 7 to 14 spiritual development stage are considered as attentive phase. So attentive and non-attentive phase are also impure point of view. Pure point of view means it just takes me to the eternal soul substance for experiencing. So modal differences of 14 spiritual development stage are not present in the eternal true nature of the soul substance. Eternal nature of the true nature of the soul substance is pure, perfect, devoid of any association with anything else at all. All these spiritual development stage are modal perspective. They are occurring in the modes, and modes are secondary when I'm putting my attention to the eternal soul substance. And this is the essence of 6 stanza. I think that's the last one. So here we are coming to the end of this 6 stanza that we just went through the first part and second part, and now we went through the detailed explanation also. So this is a 6 stanza. What I'm thinking that we have covered vast array of subjects that within probably within one class only, we'll try to recapitulate everything of the 6 stanza and put in nutshell what I knew, what I'm supposed to know, how much I'm supposed to know, and those things. And thereafter we'll start with the 7th stanza and everything. 7th stanza, this is the most difficult stanza to go through. 7th stanza is different, it has characteristics of its own. So when we come to that, we'll have fun there also. Any questions so far? I have thrown another slide over here. Which one? Actually, this one is a Gurudev Kanji Swami was going to Bhavnagar, and he had a very high fever also. And at that time, he spoke this sentence, Dhru Dhamna Dena Dhyani Dhakti Dhuni Dakhas and Dhirasti Dakhavite Dharmano Dharak Dharmi Dhanyashe. There are but 13 Dha comes in this whole thing. Dhru, Dham, De, Dhyan, Dhakti, Dhuni, Dakhas. It's kind of it just shows how much literacy he had it, how much deep understanding he had it, and how much poetic nature he had it. So If somebody wants to go through those things, go through it, but it is not part of this stanza at all. But it was just because Gurudev said in that lecture, so I just threw it in. That's it. Any questions?
Kirit uncle, thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here we'll do the closing over here, and then we'll see whatever. Okay. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalo sovani mastaka namo sada deta hudam. 9-time Namuka mantra. Jai Jirendra Thakur. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Uncle,
Kirit.
can we talk about the book?
Yeah, you hang on with the things, okay? All right.
Okay, I'll hang on.
Okay, we'll see you next week sometimes, everybody, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.